Good morning children, Sairam. Welcome you all in this science video, and we are having chemistry chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Children, in this video we will discuss some of the topics which are remaining now, like reactivity series of metals and formation and properties of ionic compounds. Children, here I want to mention one thing. Actually, in this chapter, two more topics were there, like metallurgy, extraction of metals, and one more topic was there, covalent compounds and their properties. But now, in this session, we are not taking these topics, as these topics are deleted from the course. So, today we are discussing only the topics like reactivity series of metals and ionic compounds and their properties. So, let's start with the topics. Children, here you can see the reactivity series of metals. You can see some metals are placed here. Sodium. First, at the topmost we are having metal like potassium. Then we are having sodium. After that, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, and then gold. Hydrogen is not a metal, but then also it is placed here. So for what purpose hydrogen is placed here? With the help of this hydrogen position, we can find out which metals are more reactive and which are less reactive. So here the metals which are having position above hydrogen, the metals which are having position above hydrogen, all these metals are high reactive metals. Okay, and the metals which are below, which are getting their position below hydrogen, they are less reactive metals. So if we are saying sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, all these metals are more reactive metals than hydrogen. And if we are saying about copper, mercury, silver, gold, so all these metals will be less reactive than hydrogen. So in this way we can compare these metals. And one more thing is there, if we are seeing the position of metal, the metal which is getting the position means the metal, if it is placed at the position which is above the other metal, like if I am taking example of zinc and calcium. So if we want to find out, if we are comparing which one is more reactive, calcium or zinc, then we have to see the position, which one is above position or which one is at upper position. Then we can see easily that calcium is getting its position above zinc. So calcium will be more reactive. Calcium will be more reactive than zinc. In the same way, if I am taking example of iron and magnesium, so how can you find out which one will be more reactive, magnesium or iron? So here also you can see magnesium and iron. Magnesium is above iron. If it is placed at upper position, it means it will be more reactive. So here in this case, magnesium will be more reactive than iron. So the metal which is placed at above position, that will be more reactive than the lower one. Okay, in this way you can understand. So this reactivity series will help you to find out the reactivity of metals, which one is more reactive and which one is less reactive. You can find it out. The most reactive metal, you can see the position of potassium is at the topmost, it is above all. So it is the most reactive metal. And which one is at the least or the lowest position? Gold. It is the least reactive metal. Okay. So in this way, this reactivity series will help you. After this, we are having how do metals and non-metals react. Children, metals and non-metals, why they are reacting with each other? To find it out, first we want to find out the inertness of noble gases. Do you know about noble gases? This you have learnt in 9th class. Actually, elements helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, all these are known as noble gases. What these are known as? These are known as noble gases. They are noble gases, they are unreactive and do not react with any other elements. Their atoms have completely filled outermost shells. The electronic arrangement in their atoms are very stable. And now what the other elements are doing? All the elements want to become stable like noble gases. They don't want to lose or gain electrons. They want to take only rest. So what they are doing to achieve the stability like noble gases, their atoms combine with one another and also form chemical bonds. But if they want to become like noble gases, what they have to do? They have to combine with others. And if they are combining with others, then they are making bonds also. So what they are doing now, all the elements want to become more stable like noble gases, and to achieve the stability like noble gases, their atoms combine with one another and also form chemical bonds. This you have learned. Now I am telling you furthermore, an atom can achieve the inert gas electronic configuration in three ways. How? By losing electrons, by gaining electrons, and by sharing electrons. Okay. Now the first case, how they are losing electrons. When an atom loses an electron, then a positive charged ion is formed. When it is forming, whenever an atom is losing an electron, then only positive charge is forming. And this positively charged ion is called cation. So what cation is? Cation is a positively charged ion. Here I can show you an example how an atom is losing electron and how it is getting positively charged ion. So here you can see example of sodium. What we are knowing about sodium, that sodium is having atomic number 11 and its electronic configuration is 281. It has one electron in its valence shell or outermost shell. So to complete its octet, it loses one electron. This outermost shell electron it will lose and then form sodium ion. Here again you can see this figure. You can see here easily what we are having. We are having our sodium atom which is having 281 electronic configuration. So its shells are having, the shell is having electron like 2 electrons. Then how many electrons it is having? In second shell it is having 2, 4, 6 and 8. 8 electrons in the second shell, and the outermost shell is having only 1 electron. This you can see here. So what it will do? It want to become noble gas. Noble gases are having their octet complete. So it will lose this outermost shell. This outermost shell it will lose. And as it is losing this outermost shell electron, what will happen? It will have only 2 electrons in its first shell and then 8 electrons in this second shell. The last one is getting removed from it, and as it is losing its one electron, it will acquire this one positive charge. Now in first case, when atom was having all the electrons in all the three shells like 281, it was an atom, and as it is losing one electron, then and it is acquiring this positive charge, now it converts into ion. So this is our sodium atom and this one is sodium ion. So you can compare these two. Now next one is how they are gaining electrons. When an atom gains an electron, then it forms a negatively charged ion. When a negatively charged ion is forming? When atom is gaining electron. This negatively charged ion is called anion. So what anion is? Anion is a negatively charged ion. I can explain you with the help of example also. I am taking example of chlorine here. Chlorine atom. It is having atomic number 7. Its electronic configuration is 287. In the outermost shell or valence shell, it is having only 7 electrons. So if it wants to become like noble gases, it will complete its octet. And how this octet will complete? When it is getting one more electron here. So what it will do, it will gain one electron, and after gaining one electron it becomes chloride ion. With the help of this diagram also you can see in this figure, you are having chlorine atom which is having 287 electrons and different 3 shells, and when it is acquiring one charge, one electron, then it becomes 8. Earlier it was having only 7 electrons in the outermost shell. After gaining this one electron, now it will be having 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And what is happening here, as it is gaining one electron, how much the charge will it have? It will have one negative charge. So it is negative charge ion, and it is known as chloride ion. Now the types of bond. There are two types of chemical bonds. First one is covalent bond and the other one is ionic bond. Covalent bond, it is the bond which is formed by sharing of electrons. What a covalent bond is? Which is formed by sharing of electrons between two atoms. Ionic bond, the bond which is formed by losing or gaining electrons, is known as ionic bond. Now here I can explain this ionic bond. Here again I have taken the same example of sodium. What this sodium atom is doing, it is losing its one electron, outermost shell one electron. This electron it is losing. As it is losing electron, it is forming sodium ion. So this sodium ion is forming because of this, because of losing electron. So what type of bond will form here? Here ionic bond will form. Again one more example is there. Example of chlorine. This is our chlorine atom which is having 287 electrons in its 3 shells. And what will happen, because it is lacking one electron to complete its octet, it will gain one more electron. Now it will have 288 in 3 shells. So what it is having, it is gaining electron and getting minus charge. So what it is doing here, the bond is forming because of gaining electrons. So it will be an ionic bond. Now ionic compounds. What are ionic compounds? So simple, compounds which contain ionic bonds. So the compounds containing ionic bonds are known as ionic compounds. They are made up of cations and anions. Cations means positively charged ions and anions means negatively charged ions. The formation and properties of ionic compounds. Children, here I am taking example of ionic compound NaCl. Okay, so how NaCl compound is forming? When sodium atom reacts with chlorine atom, it transfers its one electron to the chlorine atom and forms sodium chloride. It will be easy for you if you are seeing this figure. Sodium is having one electron in its outermost shell. How many electrons? One electron in its outermost shell. And chlorine is having 7 electrons in its outermost shell. It is having 1 electron and it is having 7 electrons. So chlorine wants one more electron to complete its octet. So what sodium will do? It will give its 1 electron to chlorine. And as sodium is giving its 1 electron, it will have positive charge. Because chlorine is gaining electron, it will get negative charge. And when these positive and negative charges, they are combining together, like sodium ion and chlorine ion or chloride ion, when they are coming together or they are reacting with each other, then because of this cation and anion, we are getting a compound that is known as sodium chloride. Okay. Now one more example is there, that is magnesium chloride or MgCl2. Children, magnesium atom reacts with 2 chlorine atoms. Then magnesium atom transfers its 2 outermost electrons to 2 chlorine atoms and form magnesium chloride. You can see here, magnesium is having electronic configuration 2, 8 and 2. So how many electrons in it is having in its outer shell? 2 electrons. So if we are seeing chlorine, chlorine is having 287, 287, 7 electrons in its outer shell. So chlorine wants only 1 electron. So what will happen? It is having 2 and chlorine want only 1. So how it will distribute its electron? It will give 1 electron to this chlorine atom and 1 electron to this chlorine atom. In this way it will form magnesium chloride compound. Now the next topic is properties of ionic compounds. Ionic compounds are usually solids or crystalline solids. Ionic compounds have high melting and boiling point. It is because they have the force of attraction or the bond between them that is very strong. Ionic compounds are generally soluble in water, but they are insoluble in solvents like kerosene, petrol, etc. Ionic compounds conduct electricity in molten state. Means when they are dissolving in water only, then only they are conducting electricity. Now after that, children, I am giving you home assignment. Questions are: what are ionic compounds? Give any 3 properties of ionic compounds. What is cation? Name the bond formed by the sharing of electrons. And the last question is: what type of ion is formed when an atom is having atomic number 17? So you have to finish all this work. Thank you. Sai Ram Chandra.